Saw a homicide commentary online. The crime scene turned out to be my rental house. I posted it online seeking comfort, but the comments from netizens made me shudder. Oh my God, the landlord didn't even change the blanket. The murderer washed his hands in this sink, and the victim was lying next to your bed at that time. My heart skipped a beat and I immediately packed my luggage, planning to move out overnight. At this point, a comment caught my attention. Don't move, otherwise the unjust soul will kill you. In the scorching summer, I am covered in cold sweat. The comment of this netizen named Sean Shire was quickly topped with hot comments. Have you read too many real-life horror novels? Are you kidding me? Who can still afford to live in this house? Don't make trouble and scare people at this time. The blogger is already very scared because he lives in a haunted house. Well, it's better to move out quickly. This is too scary. With everyone's encouragement, I shook my head and continued packing. But not long after, Sean Shai sent me a private message. Believe me, we really can't move. Look, is there a shadow on the wall next to your bed? That's a ghost. I looked up at the white wall next to the bed, and it seemed that I could really vaguely see a black shadow. I don't know if it was psychological, but I could feel it watching me. I sat on the ground with weak legs. My heart was about to jump out of my chest, trembling as I typed, "Why can't I move? Shouldn't I run away quickly?" The other side replied, "Quickly, because it had already set its sights on you. The ghost cannot kill where it is trapped. But once you take it away from here, it will attack you in the dead of night." It's so mysterious that I feel it's a bit ridiculous. What era is it? I should believe in science. Thinking this way, I ignored him, packed my luggage, and prepared to book a hotel to stay in. At this time, the phone rang again. It was Chen Chen calling. I saw the video you posted. Chen Chen was my senior sister when I was in graduate school. She was 2 years older than me and very outstanding. At that time, she was directly admitted to our school through recommendation, and she was also very good to me. I am an orphan and had nothing when I just graduated. It was she who helped me find this house. I'm really sorry the landlord never mentioned this to me. I replied, "Senior sister, it's not your fault." "Oh, it's really unlucky. You should move out quickly and come stay with me tonight. I'll come pick you up right away." Senior sister is so kind, and I am a little scared alone. So I agreed to her kindness and stayed at her place for one night. My senior sister's family is well off. She lives in a house that her parents bought for her early in the morning. As soon as she entered the door, she saw a statue of a Buddha in the living room. I prayed devoutly. Senior sister tittied up the second bedroom. "You can make do with it here for now, and I will help you find a new house later." "Senior sister really thanks you," I said with emotion. "You're welcome. I feel embarrassed to let you live in a haunted house." I shook my head hastily. "It's really not your fault. Who made the landlord so immoral and conceal such an important thing?" "Sister, do you know that it has been 7 years since the case happened? The layout and furniture of the house have not changed at all. The blankets are exactly the same as those used to cover the deceased years ago. More importantly, the rent is at the normal market price and has not given me a penny cheaper. The landlord is now not answering calls or replying to messages, pretending to be dead." My senior sister comforted me, saying that this situation can be sued. "I happen to have a friend who is a lawyer. I will consult with him when the sun rises." "Senior sister, you are so kind. My nose feels sour." She smiled and handed me a glass of warm water. "Okay, go to bed early." I don't recognize the bed at all. I fell asleep shortly after lying down. In my sleep, a disheveled woman rushed towards me crazily, and I woke up instantly, but I couldn't open my eyes, and a sense of fear spread from the soles of my feet straight to my brain. At this time, someone reached out their hands by the bed and tightly grabbed my neck. I struggled desperately, but became more and more breathless. When I had only one breath left, the person slowly let go of his hand, and when he recovered, he pinched it again. This repeated countless times, and I felt like I was going to die here. Finally, I suddenly opened my eyes, took a deep breath, and then ran to the bathroom to wash my face. Through the mirror, the red marks on my neck were clearly visible, indicating that it was not a dream. The phone lit up, and Sean Shai sent me several messages. "You didn't really move, did you? Why are you so disobedient? We don't know each other and won't harm you. Did you have a nightmare last night and couldn't wake up? Breathing difficulties and feeling like someone was by your bedside?" Completely in line, my heart was pounding, and I told him everything about my experience that night. He replied, "Oh no, this is the unjust spirit has already started to take action. The deceased was strangled to death back then." My forehead was sweating profusely, and I quickly dug out the video explaining the case. 7 years ago, the victim's name was Jo Shayu. At that time, she was a junior student who rented a house to work outside during the summer vacation. The culprit was a group of her brothers who experienced horrific humiliation before death and eventually died of suffocation. With the experience of this night, I have to believe this person's words. What should I do? It takes 7 nights for this wrong soul to kill someone. There is still time. You should move back quickly. As long as you stay in the haunted house for 100 days, and the wronged soul can't do anything, you will be saved. 100 days before that, I lived in that haunted house for 2 months, which means I have to live there for more than a month now. I asked why we need to stay for 100 days, and what the principle is. There is no principle, just listen to me. Sean Shai noticed my hesitation and asked if you really want to live or not. Of course I want to. Anyway, I have lived here for so long without feeling any discomfort. I almost died here the night I moved out, so I decided to go back and live there immediately. When I carried my luggage out, my senior sister had just woken up and walked out of the bedroom. "Where are y'all going?" I pursed my lips and repeated Sean Shai's words to her. After listening, my senior sister looked at me incredulously. "It's amazing that you still have a master's degree. You believe such nonsense." I understand the reason. The feeling of dying last night was real, and the red mark on my neck was also real. I gritted my teeth and said, "If what that person said is false, then I will be even more safe living in the haunted house." Senior sister, thank you for taking me in. You can consider me superstitious and confused. I will go back to live and feel at ease. Saying such words and making such a determination in front of the Bodhisattva, I feel guilty. Before leaving, I prayed devoutly 3 times again. My senior sister was so angry that she couldn't speak. Returning to the haunted house, I placed a small national flag by my bed, feeling much more at ease. Nothing happened that night, including the following days, and I completely believed Sean Shai's words. During this period, I lived a normal life and went to work normally, which caused some neighbors to say, "Girl, you live in a haunted house." Of course, I know it's a haunted house. Isn't this for survival? Besides, I also contacted the landlord and refunded half of my rent. Everything was peaceful like this. After half a month, my senior sister came to see me. She carried food and drinks and asked with concern, "Has anything happened during this time?" "I'm fine," I said with a smile. "By the way, senior sister, didn't you say before that you have a lawyer friend who said that in my situation you can sue the landlord, right?" Senior sister patted her head. "Oh, I'm really sorry. I've been too busy lately and forgot about this matter. I'll help you ask now." She took out her phone and prepared to make a call. I quickly stopped him. No need. That's not what I meant. I just wanted to say that the landlord just refunded half of my rent. It's better to leave some room for manners. I don't want to argue anymore. Senior sister slowly looked up at my situation. "What's wrong with you? What's wrong with your personality? You should fight for your rights to the end. I don't want to argue about it anymore." Senior sister hates that iron cannot become steel. Believing in ghosts and gods has become so weak. I scratched my head embarrassedly, and my senior sister stomped her feet, which was really unreasonable. These things are all for you. Take good care of your brain and body. After speaking, slam the door and leave. I shrugged and sat down, opening a box of milk. I had a nightmare again tonight. The disheveled female ghost in the dream rushed towards me again. I ran and she chased, but I couldn't outrun her. The female ghost caught me and showed a harmful smile. You can't run away. This time I saw her face clearly. It's Zhou Xiaoyu. I screamed and woke up from my sleep, sweating profusely. I fumbled to turn on the night light and couldn't fall asleep again after sitting up. The next night, I dreamed of Zhou Xiaoyu again. She caught me laughing uncontrollably, and I caught you again. I was awakened countless times, and I couldn't forget that hateful face. As soon as the day broke, I hurriedly contacted Shan Shai. You said you could be saved after staying for 100 days, but there are only 20 days left. Suddenly having nightmares for 2 consecutive nights cannot be a coincidence. What is going on? After a moment of silence, they asked, Chu Jing, are you hiding something from me? I was stunned. What? It checked. The murder happened 7 years ago. Many people have lived in this house. Why did that unjust soul specifically target you? Chu Jing, what secrets do you have? I swallowed my saliva, went to work, goodbye, hastily put down my phone, and didn't reply to him. Today is the weekend. I don't have to go to work. I'm hiding inside and not going out. This mountain rock is indeed not an ordinary person, and he has noticed it. I have no relatives in this city. The only one close to me is my senior sister, but she hasn't talked to me for a long time. I'm really scared, so I pulled down the curtain and called her. She came quickly, seeing my pale face and dull gaze. She snorted and said, Isn't it possible to get rid of the wrong soul after staying for 100 days? Why does it look not good? Senior sister is really good to me. I couldn't help but cry out loud. Why are you crying? What happened? Senior sister was startled. I sobbed and said, Senior sister, I have something very important that I have been holding back for a long time. I must say it today. In fact, I know the victim Zhou Xiaoyu from 7 years ago. Senior sister stared at me and raised her eyebrows, asking, What does it mean? Let me tell you, I know Zhou Xiaoyu. She was my senior schoolmate during my undergraduate years, and like me, she worked part-time everywhere and had a good relationship. Her father passed away early, and her mother passed away shortly after marriage. Her stepfather and stepbrother treated her badly, so she didn't go home during the summer vacation that year, but rented a house to work. I didn't go home either. I found a job at a factory that provided food and accommodation. On the night of the accident, Zhou Xiaoyu contacted me and originally invited me to her place for a hot pot, but I was a little tired that day and didn't go out. The next news was that she had died. Senior sister, I have been thinking all these years, if I had gone that night, would she have been safe? Maybe Zhou Xiaoyu is also blaming me for letting me live in the house where she died tragically, so she will target me and want to kill me. And she didn't succeed, so she started appearing in my nightmares to scare me. My senior sister looked at me with a complicated expression, and I cried with snot and tears. Zhou Xiaoyu must have come to seek revenge on me. She won't let me go. Senior sister, what should I do? What should he do? Senior sister is hopeless. Can you be more sober? There are no ghosts in this world. Yes, there really is. Zhou Xiaoyu's ghost has been in this house all along. I pulled her sleeve hard. She sighed helplessly. Since you are so afraid, I will stay here with you for a while. Will you accompany me? My eyes lit up and I excitedly said, Yes. Anyway, you and Zhou Xiaoyu have never met. There is no grudge. She won't do anything to you. I hugged him, tears of gratitude. Senior sister, why are you so nice? She casually patted my shoulder. But I didn't expect that after my senior sister moved in, Zhou Xiaoyu became more and more excessive. In the middle of the night, she grabbed my neck several times, and my body couldn't move. This time, the feeling of dying was exactly the same as when I was at my senior sister's house that night. However, Chan Shai said that unjust souls cannot kill people in the place where they are trapped. How could this happen? Until dawn, I finally recovered and panicked to take pictures of the person next to me. Senior sister. She's going to kill me. Zhou Xiaoyu is going to kill me. Senior sister with sleepy eyes and morning breath. What are you doing again? Last night I almost died. She slept next to me but didn't hear anything. Only ghosts can do it. This shows that Zhou Xiaoyu is up to something. Senior sister, I know you're a no with me now, but I'm really going to die. Zhou Xiaoyu really wants to kill me. I helplessly hugged my head and suddenly thought of something, looking for Shanqi. Shanqi must know what to do. I quickly messaged Shanqi and explained everything in detail. At this time, the senior sister's alarm clock rang, and she got out of bed irritably. I went to work. You can find whoever you want. Speaking of work, I have been in a bad state recently, so I decided to ask for a long leave from the company and wait for the approval of the leader. Chan Shai also replied to my message. I knew you were hiding something. That's right. It seems that the resentment of the wrong soul towards you is too great. Even if your soul is scattered, they will kill you. I'm terrified. What should he do? This is difficult. Please, think of a way. I don't want to die. I really don't want to die. There is a head for injustice and a master for debt. The mistakes you have made will eventually be paid back. However, we are destined to be together, so I will show you the way. I quickly asked what to do. It's simple. The ghost can only kill you in your sleep, and she dare not appear during the day. So you just need to reverse day and night. Yes, I just took a long vacation during this period. As long as I survive, I will really be saved. Seeing hope for life, I am very excited. After that, I started to reverse day and night, sleeping during the day and waking up until dawn at night. As expected, I was no longer persecuted by Zhou Xiaoyu, but senior sister can't stand it anymore. Chu Jing, I have to go to work. I really can't stand your schedule. I'd better move out. I understand her, but even if I don't sleep at night, I'm still very scared. Please, senior sister, accompany me through this period of time. Senior sister, you are the best. Senior sister gave me a deep look. Then you come with me to a place. Before I finished speaking, my senior sister pulled me out. We arrived at the destination quickly, and she pulled me out of the car. I was surprised and asked why my senior sister came to the mental hospital. She ignored me and took me into an office where a middle-aged man in a white coat sat. Ms. Chen Chen, is that right? This is the patient you were talking about. I was stunned by the patient. Neither the senior sister nor the white coat answered me. The white coat walked up to me, picked up a pocket watch, and shook it until I lost consciousness. When I woke up, I was lying on the chair and heard my senior sister's voice. She hasn't slept at night or woken up during the day, insisting that this can get rid of the wrong soul. Dr. Zhang, is her condition getting worse? The person called Dr. Zhang sighed and said, from your description, it is indeed very serious. How about I give her some medicine first? Senior sister, you brought me to see a psychologist. I stood up and shouted, Senior sister, how could you do this? I'm not sick at all. My senior sister glanced at me lightly and said to Dr. Zhang, look, this is how she is. Go get the medicine first. Take it for a while and see the situation. Dr. Zhang gave the prescription to my senior sister. I screamed and said, I'm not sick. Look at my neck. This is evidence that Zhou Xiaoyu killed me. Dr. Zhang remained calm and said, in my experience, this is probably your own masterpiece. Are you saying that I pinched myself while I was asleep? I laughed angrily, but my senior sister ignored me. "Dr. John, please give me the prescription. I'll go get the medicine," I angrily said. "Senior sister, you've gone too far," and then took advantage of their lack of attention, rushed out of the office and ran away. I took a taxi back home, and my senior sister followed me back in no time, holding a bag with the hospital logo in her hand. Jing said, "This is for your own good." She put a bag of medicine into my hand. I threw it on the ground. "I'm not sick. I won't eat it." "Senior sister, anyway, you can't stand me anymore. You can leave." Senior sister hesitated for a moment, then sneered, "Okay, I haven't wanted to stay here for a long time." She went back to the bedroom, packed her things, slammed the door and left. I was just about to go to bed to catch up on sleep, but my senior sister came back and hurriedly knocked on the door. I angrily opened the door. "Senior sister, do you have anything else to do?" She pushed me into the house, her face flustered. "Chu Jing, do you know who I saw downstairs?" "Zhou Yan." "Zhou Yan. This name sounds familiar. Didn't you watch the case explanation?" "Zhou Yan, one of the murderers back then." "Xu Jing, aren't you planning to move away from here?" The murderer has revisited the old place, and my senior sister anxiously shook my shoulder. My mind went blank for a moment. Move away? No, I can't move away. I must stay here for 100 days before I can be completely saved. As long as I stay here for 100 days, Zhou Xiaoyu can never kill me again. Senior sister laughed angrily. "What's in your mind?" I said to myself, "He is not the main culprit, and nothing will happen." Zhou Xiaoyu was killed by Zhou Yan's so-called brothers. At that time, Zhou Yan was just an accomplice, so he was sentenced to a few years and released from prison. My senior sister was so angry that she couldn't speak and pointed at me. She gave me a fierce glare and slammed the door again before leaving. I closed the doors and windows, drew the curtains and curled up in bed. It's only 10 days away, and nothing can stop me. I must get rid of Zhou Xiaoyu. Suddenly someone knocked on the door, and the stinky woman opened it. "I knew you were inside. Did Zhou Yan come up?" I held my breath to make no sound, but the people outside the door became even more aggressive, as if they would break in the next second. Zhou Yan was not the main culprit back then, and he won't do anything to me now. Besides, I don't know him at all. What reason does he have to hurt me? I comforted myself like this. In the blink of an eye, I suddenly thought of something. Zhou Yan, Shanshai. Zhou Yan is Shanshai. This idea is ridiculous, but the more I doubt it, the more I want to verify it. I bite my lip and call Shanshai in the address book. With angry roars, I heard my phone ringing outside the door, and unprecedented fear filled my body. I hung up persistently, and the sound outside the door stopped. When I called again, the bell rang again. Zhou Yan, he is Shanshai, but what is his purpose? Is it to scare him, therefore? Zhou Xiaoyu's so-called unjust soul does not exist at all, and it was Zhou Yan who was up to it from beginning to end. No, that's not right. I really had a nightmare about Zhou Xiaoyu killing me. The feeling of suffocation and the injury on my neck are not fake. What's going on? Jiayan started kicking the door outside, and I had a splitting headache and felt dizzy. Senior sister is right, I seemed to be really sick. I buried my head in the quilt and didn't know how long it took before it finally quieted down outside. As he left, I nervously got out of bed and carefully pushed open the door. "He left, girl?" Just as I breathed a sigh of relief, the sudden sound startled me again. I looked up and saw my upstairs neighbor. "Little girl, I'm not fussy." He looked at me. "Are you really not planning to move out? Look at your pale face, you have no spirit left. Some things we have to believe. This haunted house is not something ordinary people can live in. Is my state already like this?" I looked at him with scattered eyes. "Thank you for reminding me. This young man really doesn't listen to advice now." Seeing that I am still lifeless, he shook his head and left. I closed the door and went to the bathroom. Through the mirror, I saw my pale face without any color. I didn't know what to do, let alone what I had done wrong to endure such torture. If all of this is Joe Yan's doing, what are my nightmares? The more I think about it, the more headache I feel, and I even feel like I can't breathe. After a few days, Joe Yan came to kick my door every day, and I was afraid he would break in. I finally couldn't bear it anymore and called my senior sister again. My senior sister is really good to me. Even if I use harsh words towards her, she will come quickly when I need her. I said it a long time ago. There are no ghosts in the world. She snorted coldly, and Joe Yan has been in prison for several years. Do you think she can be a good person? Come with me. I'll take you to see a doctor. If you stay here any longer, you'll either go crazy or die. I stubbornly held my head and said, no, senior sister, I still can't leave here. Although Shan Shai is fake, it doesn't prove that Zhou Xiaoyu is also fake. She will catch me in my dreams and try to kill me by choking me by the bed. This is not fake. Senior sister went crazy and said, you're really driving me crazy. I turned a deaf ear, leaving only a glimmer of hope. Maybe I was mistaken. Joe Yan may not be Shan Shai. As I spoke, I took out my phone and planned to try contacting him again. Don't be crazy, senior sister is coming to my phone. I skillfully dodged and made a call. 1 second, 2 seconds, 3 seconds, the room rang. My back stiffened and I looked at my senior sister in disbelief. She panicked and rummaged through her bag. I hung up the phone, the ringtone stopped, and when I called again, the sound rang again. The bag came from my senior sister. At this moment, she finally took out her phone and frantically pressed the ringtone to stop, but it showed that the other party had refused to answer. Senior sister, it turns out that you are the fake one. My forehead is sweating profusely. She chuckled and admitted generously that you had discovered it. I staggered back a few steps, squatted on the ground, and squeezed out a smile uglier than crying. Are you kidding? Of course not. She shook her sleeves. I am Shan Shai. Shan Shai is me. Didn't expect it, Chu Jing. You were fooled by me. I never expected that the person who wanted to harm me from beginning to end was actually my most respected senior sister. Yes, looking back, every time I had a nightmare, every time someone choked me in the middle of the night, she was by my side. I broke down and said, senior sister, why did you want to harm me? Why don't you know yet? Zhou Xiaoyu is my best friend. Her gaze towards me has changed from her usual tenderness to an undisguised hatred. Did I bite my lip just because I didn't go find her as promised back then? You're smart. She leaned on the sofa. If you hadn't stood her up, Zhou Xiaoyu might not have died. But am I really responsible for Zhou Xiaoyu's death? I don't have time to investigate this matter now. I only know that I should run away. I got up and rushed straight to the door, but behind me came Chen Qian's mocking chuckle. You thought you could run away, and the sound of unlocking came from the door, and the man's fierce face appeared in front of me. Chen Qian stood up and walked a few steps towards me to introduce himself to Zhou Yan. Zhou Yan has a long scar on his face, and his smile is even more frightening. I should have realized that Zhou Yan was not sentenced to death. All the images about him online were labeled as mosaic. How could Chen Qian recognize him at a glance? It turned out that they were in cahoots. I looked at Chen Qianming. He is the murderer. Why didn't you seek revenge on him instead of harming me? Chen Qian crossed his arms and chest. Guess how he got the injury on his face? I was stunned. Don't worry about anything else at this time. Just care about your safety. She gave Zhou Yan a wink. Zhou Yan grabbed me, and the hateful scar made my heart tremble. He licked his lips and said, I've been coveting you for a long time, Miss Chu Jing. Put away your crooked thoughts. Chen Qian glared at him discontentedly. Zhou Yan begged, Miss Chen, don't worry for now. Chen Qian rolled his eyes. Speed, hurry up. This may not be fast. I kicked him hard in the crotch, but not enough. I kicked him again. Zhou Yan bent over in pain. Stinky, you're looking for death. I kicked him again, then pushed him aside and ran away. Chin Chin reacted and shouted, "You useless thing, hurry up and chase after me. Stop for me. Joanne is limping after me." I ran downstairs in one breath, only to bump into a white coat. How did Dr. John come here? I didn't have time to think much, just about to bypass him and continue running. Unexpectedly, he grabbed me and shouted, "How come you can't even catch a patient?" Chin Chin hurriedly caught up behind me. "Dr. John, you came just in time. He is really getting worse and won't take the prescribed medicine. You should hurry up and take him away for treatment." "Don't touch me, I'm not sick. I'm struggling like crazy." Someone passed by at this time. It was my upstairs neighbor. I ignited hope, grabbed his sleeve, and saved me. At this moment, he heard him say to Dr. John, "You are a doctor in a mental hospital, right?" "Oh, I have to testify. This girl has been living in a haunted house for a long time and is really sick." Chin Chin approached and tied me up with Dr. John. "Please take me away quickly, otherwise the situation will only get worse." Chin Chin did all this just to send me to a mental hospital. Yes, I am mentally abnormal. I live in a haunted house and don't move out. I shout that there are resentful spirits trying to harm me. In order to get rid of the unjust spirits, I have become different from myself and even more terrifying. In this state, why not send me to a mental hospital? Jing Jing, just follow Dr. John. He is experienced and will definitely cure you. Chin Chin looked worried about me. "Dr. John, please make sure to cure my junior sister." "Don't worry. We will do our best," said Dr. John. "Miss Chan, you are really good to your junior sister. My junior sister is very outstanding. She is alone and I really feel sorry for her. More and more people are watching, and these two people are performing more and more vigorously." I couldn't help but shout, "How much money did Chen Chen give you?" Dr. Zhang was stunned. "What do you mean? When I don't know?" "It's because Chen Chen gave you benefits that you listened to him and wanted to take me, a normal person, to a mental hospital." Chen Chen was heartbroken and said, "Jing Jing, you really need to get a good treatment. Look at you talking nonsense and playing tricks." "Playing tricks? How can I compare to you?" Chen Qian's face darkened, and he tried harder to send me to Dr. Zhang's car. He whispered in my ear, "Zhu Jing, you can't escape. Just go to the mental hospital and spend the rest of your life in peace." "It should be almost time." I stopped struggling and said with a smile, "Is that so?" As soon as the words fell, the sound of the siren echoed through the sky from far to near. "Senior sister, it's not certain who will play who." In front of everyone, the police walked straight over. "Who called the police?" I responded excitedly, "Police comrade." "It was me who called the police." Chen Chen looked at me incredulously. "How could you?" "Sister, do you think I'm so stupid that I don't know anything?" I smiled proudly and handed over the surveillance footage and recordings that I had already organized to the police. Chen Chen drugged me, tried to kill me in the middle of the night while I was unconscious, and even bribed the mental hospital to falsify the case to arrest me. Comrade police, my evidence is conclusive. Chen Chen probably never dreamed that she was the one being played around. I'm so smart. Of course, I already noticed that she wanted to harm me. How early was it? Once netizen named Shanshai commented on me. I registered an account with my school phone number, but little did I know that I had already saved that number. She helped me rent that set of haunted house history. I went to Zhou Xiaoyu's rental house back then, so of course I knew what happened in that house. When I accidentally saw a photo of her and Zhou Xiaoyu, I asked around and learned that they were good friends in high school. I even saw her meet Zhou Yan. As soon as Zhou Yan was released from prison, Jin Chen found someone to beat him several times and threatened to beat him every time he saw him in the future. He couldn't bear it and shifted his firepower to me. saying that I was also one of the culprits for Zhou Xiaoyu's death. It's ridiculous that Chen Chen is so confused that he really decided to retaliate against me. I also decided to play it safe. She had given me psychiatric drugs many times to make me go crazy, but I was already prepared and avoided it. Seeing me jumping around, she became anxious. I kindly helped her. The commentary on Zhou Xiaoyu's case was submitted by me. In this way, she played the role of a rock to scare me and asked me not to move out, while actively caring about me and letting me stay with her. The night I stayed at her house, she gave me lukewarm water that had been drugged. I pretended to drink it and watched a supernatural performance late at night, which was quite fun, but my neck hurt a bit. I know she doesn't dare to kill. Her goal is to make me a mental patient, but she didn't know that I had installed surveillance cameras at home, and everything she did was recorded. Speaking of which, it's not that I'm too smart, but that Chen Chen is too stupid to let me catch so many loopholes. I saw Chen Chen, who had been detained at the police station in less than half a day. She looked haggard and asked me unwillingly when I found out. I chuckled and told her everything. Unexpectedly, I messed around and ended up in jail. I raised my eyebrows and said, Chen Chen clenched his fist. Don't be too happy. I won't let you go. Zhou Xiaoyu's death has nothing to do with me. Why can't you make a clear distinction at all? You're farting. If you hadn't stood her up, she wouldn't have died. I sneered and said, do you know why I stood her up? Chen Chen calmed down and glared at me fiercely without saying a word. If I had gone as promised back then, I don't know if Zhou Xiaoyu would have died, but I definitely would have. I took a deep breath and asked again, do you know that Zhou Yan violated Zhou Xiaoyu for many years? Her pupils dilated. What did you say? You don't even know. You said you were a good friend of Zhou Xiaoyu, seeking revenge for her. Zhou Xiaoyu has had a miserable life since childhood. Her parents passed away early. Her stepfather punched and kicked her all day, and Zhou Yan, the pervert, violated her for many years, which is extremely disgusting. Zhou Xiaoyu felt that this was disgraceful and did not report it to the police or tell anyone. During college, Zhou Xiaoyu met an older brother from my orphanage through me. They developed feelings for each other, but Zhou Yan found out before their relationship was confirmed. Zhou Yan forbade her from dating and even threatened her brother's life. Zhou Xiaoyu couldn't let go of the person she liked, but she was also afraid of Zhou Yan. In the crisis, she thought of me. Zhou Xiaoyu promised Zhou Yan to introduce him to a younger and more beautiful girl, and Zhou Yan would let him go from then on, and I am the new prey in her mouth. Zhou Yan was moved and called his group of brothers to share, but my older brother accidentally saw Zhou Xiaoyu's chat history. He silently cut off ties with Zhou Xiaoyu and reminded me to be careful. On the day I received the reminder, I also received an invitation from Zhou Xiaoyu to go to her house for a hot bath. In that situation, how could I still foolishly go to the appointment? I stood up Zhou Xiaoyu and learned of her death the next day. Before I could go, a group of people came up with the idea of Zhou Xiaoyu, and she died miserably. If I had gone back then, I would have died. You're talking nonsense. Zhou Xiaoyu is not that kind of person. Chen Chen couldn't listen anymore and screamed loudly until she was suppressed by the police. Everything is over. Chen Chen was prosecuted, and Zhou Yan was sent to prison. Dr. Zhang's mental hospital was shut down after a bunch of problems were found. A few days later, the police in charge of the case contacted me, and they asked something else from Chen Qian's mouth. 7 years ago, on the night Zhou Xiaoyu died, tragically, Chen Chen had been there. She heard some noise outside the door and realized something was wrong, but she did not call the police. I seem to have guessed something. Is it for the sake of graduate school recommendation? The police nodded. Chen Chen was indeed excellent, but Zhou Xiaoyu was even better than her back then. There were only 2 spots for professional recommendation, and with Zhou Xiaoyu, Chen Qian's chance of getting a spot was very small. Therefore, knowing that Zhou Xiaoyu was in danger, she chose to escape. With one less opponent, she was one step closer to success. I finally understand why she inexplicably put her fire on me. Because she didn't want to admit that she let her good friend die tragically. So brainwashing myself. It was my breach of contract that indirectly killed Zhou Xiaoyu. After the dust settled, I packed my luggage, resigned, and went to another city with the remaining savings to start a new life.